Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be going over the 7 times in 7 days challenge. This is a super awesome challenge that we have created through our marketing agency. It is something that we do with other clients, and we wanted to bring it to the homeschool world. So today we're going to be going over all the details on how to be able to make more sales using this challenge. It's going to help you to be able to know a bunch of different marketing techniques, when to use them, and how to be able to use them together to make more sales. Today I do have Janet here with me as well. She's going to be joining us today and lending her expertise as well.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all here.
If you guys haven't already seen the new e-zine that we launched just earlier this month, you should go and take a look at it. It is on thehomeschoolquest.com. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a link to that. You can read it for free online, and it is a super awesome homeschool mobile magazine. And there's a lot of different opportunities to be able to do guest articles and advertising in that e-zine that we have published. So go ahead and check it out. I guarantee you it's not like any other e-zine that you have ever seen. It is super interactive, clickable, and has a lot of heart and soul put into the design. Janet is the designer of the e-zine, and she did a fantastic job.
Thank you, Amelia.
So Larissa says that she is involved in creating an online planner and student portal that can be used with any curriculum. And Candace says she's developed 5 math games and 8 workbooks to go with it. Well, if you guys are ready, I'm going to go ahead and start going over the challenge. Oh, it does look like we have some more people joining us, so I'm just going to wait for them to get settled. Go ahead and comment and let us know where you're joining us from and what your homeschool business is all about. Looks like the at mention just finally start bringing the people in, so please let us know where you're joining us from. In our group, we are going to actually have some upcoming classes. On May 16th, we're going to be hosting Corbelay from Teach My Kinder to talk about the 3 reading skills that you need to, like, no matter which resources that you choose, which skills do you need to focus on to make sure that they are reading quickly. And we're also going to be doing a listen and learn about U.S. hidden gems with Randy from Peanut Butter Fish Lessons. So if you are interested in any of those, you can go to the Homeschool Quest May update, and I'll go ahead and send a link to that so you can see our upcoming classes. And you'll also be able to see the classes that we've already done, which we did a national parks trivia as well as a bizarre inventions class where we went over a bunch of different strange and interesting inventions throughout history, and we looked at the patent photos and tried to guess what they were. That class was a lot of fun to participate in. Okay, if you're all ready, I'm going to go ahead and start 7 times 7 days challenge. So, you may be wondering why people are simply not buying your products when you post on social media. You are putting in the work, but the sales just aren't there. This is a common question that I get from homeschool businesses. I've been posting, and I'm just not seeing the results. Well, I want to talk to you about a little known fact. And this fact is that your potential customers must see or hear about your product at least 7 times before they're likely to purchase it. This is true regardless of whether you're selling homeschool products, whether you're a downtown boutique, or a service business. This is a rule of marketing that they have found to be true time and time again, that they need to see you at least 7 times. This can increase if you are selling something that is totally unique and hasn't been done before. So if you're selling some sort of curriculum or class that is filling a need, but it's not like anything anyone has ever done before, you may need some additional times of posting, sharing your newsletter, so that you can be seen, so that you can convince them to buy what you are offering.
I like to think about it as like when I'm going through my um, Instagram feed or my Facebook feed, and I'm just seeing all these posts of different curriculum providers, and I don't really remember them until I've seen them several times, and I'm like, what is that new printable or what is that new planner? And then eventually it starts getting in my head, and I start getting curious about it. But the first couple of times, I may ignore it.
Yeah, and that's we're talking getting a little bit into the buyer's journey. So this is usually an advanced marketing technique that I actually teach in my private boot camp. So I'm going to share it with you guys here today because I'm hearing that this is something that may be very useful for homeschool business owners to know. And I think that it's going to make a big difference in the sales that you are able to get. So people have to first be aware that your business exists. And they must know about the products that you offer before that you can convince them to buy your products. Like Janet was talking about, they must first have that awareness. So that means putting in the work to write the blog posts, sharing the social media posts, and advertising and sending newsletters. All of these things are essential to building that awareness and putting them further on the journey so that they are convinced to buy from you. So let's go. You need to explain you're offering a solution that they need or want. Some people will say, well, I have printables. I'm not offering a solution. Yes, you are. You just don't realize the solution that you're offering. Do you offer printables that work for a specific grade or a specific, like, teach a specific skill that they need to practice? That's a solution that you're offering. Are you offering printables that work for kids with ADHD? Are you offering printables that are fun and entertaining so that they learn information? They practice their fine motor skills. They practice their handwriting. There's so many different things that you are providing solutions for. Even a coloring page is going to help the parent. You just have to realize that's going to help cure their boredom. That's going to help them with their fine motor skills. That's going to help. You need to think about all the things that your printable is going to help them with. And those are the solutions that you need to focus on.
I really think that the difference between this for printable makers is they may be able to sell a one-off printable just the first time they show it, but when you're getting that return buyers, it's because they know about who you are, they know the solution, and then every time they see your printables, once they know, like, and trust you, they're going to buy your printables because they've seen you those 7 times, and it makes a big difference in that repeat sales.
And we've seen this a lot with the Homeschool Quest printables. The first, I would say the first 10 people that purchased them, once we were able to show them the difference with our printables, they went and bought other printables as well. So you want to show them what the difference is, what you're providing, and how it's a solution to their problems, and find that thread that runs through all your different printables. What is it that you're really passionate about? Whether that is helping cure boredom for your kids and making really fun printables, and that's why you're doing it, or you're helping to target specific skills that you found that a lot of these different curriculums, my kids didn't really master these particular math skills. And so that's why I created these printables. Focus on those reasons why you created the printables. And you also need to provide them with proof that you're telling the truth. So you need to tell them, not only do you need to tell them how your product will solve their problem, But you need to collect testimonials and you need to get feedback that you can use on your website, whether that's through Etsy, Teachers Pay Teachers, or it's on your website. You need to be able to collect those testimonials. A lot of people have a hard time with this because they're like, well, how do I ask someone for a testimonial for my product? If someone has ever said something nice, whether that is a Facebook comment, they texted you something, they sent you a Facebook message, you can simply reply back to them, hey, thank you so much for your kind words. Can I use this as a testimonial? Or if they provide that feedback on your Etsy shop, also copy that onto your website. You want to collect this feedback as proof that your printables and curriculum actually solve the problem that you are saying they solve.
And that comes down to not being shy to talk about the benefits that your curriculum provides. I know a lot of people get nervous about being salesy, but you're actually doing them a benefit by telling how it's going to improve their kids' lives.
How many posts have you seen in homeschool groups where someone asks, what's the benefit of fill-in-the-blank curriculum? What's the difference between this curriculum and that curriculum? I just can't tell. That's because they're not doing a good enough job explaining the benefits and differences that their curriculum offers to other curriculum. If they didn't, if they explained it on their website, this is how we're different, they wouldn't need to ask that question in these different groups. If they provided enough proof on their website, they wouldn't have to ask, does this actually do what it says it does? So even big curriculum providers, like say Mia Academy or The Good and the Beautiful, they can have more proof. They can have focus more on the benefits. So everyone who's providing homeschool curriculum and products can focus on these ways of being able to prove to their customers, their potential customers, that they are the one to go with. Everybody can work on this and continue to improve.
And this is where, when you really convince people of the benefits, and that person's like, this is the benefit, this is, I need this benefit for my kid, that's where you're going to get the return sales. Because anytime you share something with that to that person, they're going to be like, I got to get that. And that's huge.
So I'm challenging you now. Will you join our 7 times in 7 days challenge? We are challenging you to be seen by your potential customers 7 times in 7 days. So let's go over each of the 7 ways that we suggest that you reach out to your potential customers over the next 7 days. So why these 7 times? What is the goal for each of these different times that we're going to be seen? So first, they must become aware that your business exists, right? They will then discover that your product solves a problem. And then they'll realize, hey, that might solve my problem. A lot of people get these 2 stages mixed up and think they're the same stage. They're not. Becoming aware that your product solves a problem or provides for a want or a need that they have, they're not necessarily going to connect the dots and realize that that solves their specific problem. So you're going to have to help connect the dots for them. They will then ask in their homeschool Facebook groups, has anyone tried this product? What's the difference between this product and that product? What are the benefits? And then at the 5th time that they see your post, they're going to think, this might be worth something. If it does solve my problems, they're wanting proof. They're wanting to go and look for proof that this does solve their problems. That 6th time, they're like considering the price. Is this worth the cost for me? And that 7th time that they see you, they're convinced, all right, I need this product. It's going to solve my problems. They have lots of proof. Other people have tried it and they're good. I'm going to buy this product. I've considered the price and I think that it is worth the benefits that they are offering. So those are the 7 stages that potential customers go through before they're ready to buy from you. So the first way that we suggest that you reach out to your potential customers is to share in our group of over 125,000 members. It is completely free to share up to 4 times a day. As long as you're sharing unique content and you follow the rules, you can share 4 posts a day in our group completely free, as long as it's under $30 or free.
So, Amelia, I want to interrupt for a second. And something in our marketing agency that we always talk to our clients about is start with the free stuff. Once you've exhausted all of the free options, then you can start looking and expanding your reach and using the different paid options and advertisings. So sharing in free groups like this, we can't we can't tell you underestimate the importance of this, that you can share at least 4 times a day. You have your freebies and your paid products. You can educate people with your blog posts. Share in free groups. Use those free options as much as you can.
There's been so many different businesses that I've worked with that try to start with doing, say, like Google Ads. And they needed to build up their website with more content and share on social media and build the beginnings of that community before they were really ready to start doing Google advertising. Because when you're doing advertising on like Google or Facebook, that's reaching out to a specific crowd of people. But if you haven't already tapped into the local communities and built a community for yourself, if you haven't done that yet, then you're missing out on an opportunity for being able to reach a lot of people that simply wouldn't be reached by like Facebook advertising.
Well,
So
and paid and free go well together, because once you are all over the place with the free advertising and the free marketing, then when they see you on that paid ad, that's like maybe the seventh or eighth time they've seen you, and so they're ready to buy.
exactly. So it does make your ads much more effective as well. And I'd highly recommend, if you are going to utilize any paid options, that you also utilize any free options at the same time. So it's really important that you're doing these things at the same time because, like we said, it's going to get you to that 7 times a lot faster. So share your freebies in our group with a newsletter sign up. So don't share a direct download link. You're going to get a lot more benefit if you can ask people to sign up for your newsletter. You can continue to market to them once they've signed up for your list. You now have pre-qualified homeschool parents who are interested in your printables, curriculum, courses, or whatever homeschool product that you provide. You can share your paid products in the group that is under $30, and you can share blog posts explaining the problem that you're solving and the solution that your product gives. We highly recommend that you share a funny homeschool post. Those posts get a lot of reach and help to show that you also understand homeschooling. So if you're a homeschool mom who also provides printables, this is a great opportunity for you to prove that you know homeschooling and you know homeschoolers. Sharing a funny post actually helps build a personal connection with people and, like I said, gets a lot of reach. You can also ask and answer questions. We've seen a lot of people in the group who are going and answering different new homeschoolers or established homeschoolers questions, and we seem to see that that is the people that are really popular in our newsletter, is the people that are putting in the work to build that personal connection with our community. If you're not familiar with the Homeschool Quest free and affordable resources and printables group, I will go ahead and share a link for anyone who may not have joined that group already. I highly recommend that you join the group and post in the latest welcome comment, letting people know what it is that you provide and answering any questions that people might have. So, a couple of tips for sharing some really good posts in the group is to require a newsletter sign up for freebies. I repeat this because it is so important to capture those people on your newsletter list. Your newsletter list is one of your most important marketing tools that you can have. It's something that you own. It's not throttled by Facebook. It's not any of the, you don't have to pay to send an email to your newsletter list. So being able to have that list that you can market to of pre-qualified people who are interested in your products is huge. It's gold for you. I recommend that you use a good picture. That could be something you make in Canva Pro or something that you can find on unsplash.com or take yourself. You can also add a question to your post, even if you're sharing about a freebie or a paid product. Adding a question will get more comments and get a larger reach because the more comments that are on the post, and the more likely Facebook is to show it to other people. And I highly recommend that you also experiment with posting at different times. Different products get better results at different times of the week. So experiment with posting different times of the week, different days, uh, so that you can see which one works best for you.
I've honestly, with the different times, I've found like when I'm posting my printables and I'm getting no results at all, if I just switch it up to in the afternoon, I think about, homeschooling mom. In the morning on a Monday, is she going to be on Facebook, or is she going to be more likely in the afternoon or in the evening? Is she going to be online Sunday afternoon? Think about that, and that alone can give you a huge boost.
So the next way that you are going to reach out is you are going to teach a live class, similar to this class. So you can teach a live class on our group or teach a live class in your group. Teaching a live class allows you to connect with homeschooling parents on a personal level. And you're going to be able to show your expertise and engage with the actual kids, the students. So you can build trust and establish yourself as the go-to person for your niche. This personal connection can lead to increased sales. So how can that be true? Live classes allow you to connect with people. It allows you to show your personality. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And live classes allow you to hit each one of those points. So they're able to get to know you, they're able to like you, and they're able to trust you because they see what you are providing is valuable. And if their kid is enjoying the class, they're going to be a whole lot more likely to go and check out what else you are offering.
And there's a few easy ways to get started with doing live classes. You can do one of our classes and have Amelia be right there with you, hosting it and helping you. You can do it on your own group or page, even with your cell phone. I mean, and then if you look at the class right now, I'm doing it voice, Amelia's doing video. You can do it in your comfort zone. You can do a 30-minute class, you can do a 5-minute class. It's about getting started and putting yourself out there and getting people to see you and learn about you in a different way than just seeing your printable in a marketing post. So try those live classes because they make a huge difference and you can do it in your comfort zone.
I 100% agree. And we allow people to share up to 1 hour classes with our group. And we include a mention of the live class in our weekly newsletter, in our blog, and in the weekly welcome post that we do. If you are interested in doing a live class, I'm going to go ahead and share a link to the dates that we have available in our group. We only do once a week, so it is pretty exclusive in that regards. So I'm going to go ahead and share a link to that if you are curious about what's entailed.
And if you do this live class, you'll be seen like once in the class, second in the newsletter, third in the blog, fourth in the weekly post. There's 4 out of your 7 that you want to be seen for your weekly challenge.
So it can make a huge difference when you connect and borrow someone else's audience. So the next way that I want you to connect on day 3, I want you to send a newsletter to your list. Email is still the most popular way for you to connect with potential customers, especially the young parents. Uh, Email is the most popular way to connect with the millennial and Gen X uh, parents. So your newsletter list is super valuable. As I mentioned before, these are all pre-qualified people. If they signed up on your website to get your blog updates or they signed up to get a freebie, these people want what you are offering. A lot of people get overwhelmed by sending their newsletter because they're like, I have to write a blog post, I have to do social media posts, I don't have time for a newsletter. I'm here to tell you, you can do all of those and use the same content that you post on your social media or your blog in your newsletter. The people who are on your newsletter aren't necessarily going to see your blog post. And even if they see your blog post on social media or on your blog, they may not have read it yet. So by sending them a reminder, hey, here's a blog post that you might enjoy that I wrote recently, that is going to help them to be able to actually consume the content that you have created. So I'll always recommend that people use their social media posts and their blog posts in their newsletter because it does help give that content a longer lifespan, and it really is a completely different audience.
And with the newsletter, consistency is really important. So if you're not sending a newsletter at all, commit to sending one once a month. If you are sending it sporadically, maybe you can commit to sending one once a week or twice a month. It's consistency that makes the big difference with the newsletter.
Yeah, consistently sending your newsletter list actually will help with increase your open rate because people actually look forward to and are expecting your newsletter at a specific time. And so it does actually help if you send consistently, even if that's once a month. Once a month newsletter, I'll get a newsletter once a month, and I will remember about them, think about them, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I was looking forward to the, homeschool teaching libraries email. I'll go and take a look at that because I expected them and I look forward to those emails. And I know that they're full of a lot of really great stuff that they've been doing over the last month. So don't be afraid to send your newsletter list. Another way that you can reach out is through Pinterest. Um, Pinterest is actually a great social network for homeschoolers. They will go there to find different freebies and paid products to be able to print out and use in their homeschool. So if you're not already on Pinterest, you should, by the end of this video, you should go and sign up. If you haven't been using your Pinterest account, well, I have a really easy way that is totally free for you to be able to get a lot more out of your Pinterest account. You can help join our Pinterest team. We collect homeschool freebies and products on our group boards. So for every 2 pins that you share, you can add one of your resources. And this helps you to reach more homeschooling parents because we already have an audience, and it gives you a chance to get a free newsletter and blog mention because we actually pull from these boards every week to create our free and affordable weekly newsletter. So if you share a really great resource, you have a chance that you might be mentioned in that and earn that. So joining the Pinterest team is really easy. All you have to do is send us an email and you can join. Let me put a link there to I think I haven't shared the free opportunities page yet. So let me share a link to that. These are all the different free opportunities that we provide through the group. The reason that it's really important to me that we offer these free marketing opportunities is because before I became the admin of this group, I had spent about 2 to 3 years. The timeline gets a little fuzzy, but 2 to 3 years, I was spending time marketing my creative writing curriculum. And the lack of opportunities for people to actually connect with homeschooling parents, and the amount of people who are like, I don't know what's out there. What other options are there? Does anyone know of any good printables? So many groups were flooded with these comments that were asking, is there any other options other than these really expensive curriculums? And sometimes people would answer that no, there was no other options. And I knew that there was other options out there. I had seen them in some of these other groups that did allow a little bit of promotion. And so the reason why I wanted to create this community and with these rules and guidelines is because I wanted to provide an opportunity for homeschool businesses to connect with homeschooling parents. It provides a benefit for the homeschool parents and the businesses, which a lot of times the homeschool businesses are run by homeschooling parents. So it benefits you twice. So the next opportunity you have on day 5 is to join our welcome team. Our welcome team is a group of people that go and actually encourage new members on our weekly welcome post and answer any questions that they might have. This builds a personal connection, just like the live classes do, with new homeschooling parents. And this is a huge opportunity because these people need help. And if you're someone that can provide them with that, answering their questions, and it can make a huge difference in their homeschooling journey, and they're going to remember you.
And it also builds a connection with the other people on the welcome team so that you're building connections with other homeschool curriculum providers too. And if you want to join the welcome team or the Pinterest team, you can email us or you can just send us a DM on Facebook and we can answer any questions that you have.
The next opportunity that you have for day 6 is to write a guest article in the Homeschool Quest Easy. We are consistently looking for new and interesting content to share in our easy. So this next issue, we're focusing on the topic of summer learning fun. So we're going to be want to hear your articles and tips for nature walks, learning in the garden, backyard science, art activities, field trips, scavenger hunts, a summer reading list, benefits of homeschooling the summer, benefits of taking the summer off, and a whole bunch more. So if you are knowledgeable about any of these topics, please send us your guest post idea through the website so that we can share your article in the e-zine. So the process is pretty simple. You send us your ideas, and then in a couple of weeks, we'll email you back letting you know whether or not your idea has been selected for the e-zine. We do have a few slots that are available for this, so we are a bit picky. So send us your very best ideas, and tell us why you should be the one to write the article. We also look for general homeschooling articles such as tips and tricks, homeschool routine, homeschool experiences, why you decided to homeschool, funny homeschool stories, encouragement, opinions and thoughts, and homeschooling success stories and your kids' accomplishments. We would love to share this in our e-zine. So, the 7th opportunity is for you to borrow our audience. We have 125,000 people in our group and over 20,000 homeschooling parents that are confirmed on our newsletter list. These are people who have clicked and opened our email multiple times. So they are active. We have a special offer for you, and that is sharing a spring class and a newsletter special. So this is for a limited time. We are offering a special deal for a Facebook class with an @everyone comment in our main group and a featured resource in our newsletter. This is our biggest promotional spot in the newsletter, and this is usually a much more expensive package and is only $100. So if you're interested, please go ahead and message me so that I can send you the special link to be able to opt in to this bundle. So if you are interested in sharing a class and getting featured in our newsletter, this is a special deal you do not want to miss. If you are interested in being featured in our e-zine, our early bird specials are coming out on May 15th for the next issue. I know it's soon already. I can't believe we've already published our first one and we're already working on the next one. So go ahead and comment if you have any questions that I can answer.
So the class and the newsletter special, it's typically at the $150. We're selling it for $100 right now. You get to be in that class, and the @everyone comment, that one's a really big one because it's going to actually message on Facebook the whole 125,000 people in our group, reminding them that your class is starting. We've found that in these classes, a great way to get success is to actually offer a freebie so that people are signing up for your newsletter and they can follow along in your class. And these classes are specifically for the kids, the homeschooling kids. And so we've had great success with trivia classes and craft classes and something that's fun that you can build that connection with the mom and the kids and get that newsletter sign up.
A lot of people will provide a craft activity to go along with the topic. So that can be a sample from a unit study, or that can be coloring pages that goes along with the topic. or notebook pages to write down their answers to trivia. So super simple, but super worth it. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and I look forward to seeing the success that you get by joining the 7 times in 7 days challenge.
And I want to encourage you that each time that you're posting something or doing your newsletter or doing a class, post it in the group, in the homeschool business builder group, so that we can congratulate you and share your successes and share your posts as well. So each day, come and post and tell us how you're doing on the 7 days challenge.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing your posts. Have a good day.